to Mostly True Stories with Dr. Juan Harrison, a series of feel-good, faith-based short stories from a Texan's perspective. Now here's Dr. Juan Harrison with today's story. Please enjoy.
As an old bachelor until 30, I picked up basic household survival skills along the way. I decided to tackle a sewing project. I headed to the laundry room to get Mama's sewing basket. I had to use the needle with the big eye. Sometimes these days I think I need the one that the camel could go through in the Bible. As I was looking at her sewing basket, it dawned on me it was the only thing I remember us getting from her estate. Mama lived an interesting life in West Texas and became a turned-on Christian her last 9 years as she battled breast cancer. She chose to forego treatment, having seen her friends endure the rigors of surgery and radiation and chemo and often not have great quality of life. It was a very personal choice. She did have 9 quality years, remaining strong to the end. We went to the nursing home the day before she passed and found her bed made up and the room empty. We thought they may not have called us to tell us that she had passed away. Not to be, for to no one's surprise at the home, they said she's down in the cafeteria spreading the gospel. If we all could only go out that way. My wife flew out to Amarillo 9 years earlier with 2 little ones in tow to help her relocate and get her settled back here. Mama came to be a big part of our family. She prayed over my youngest son's health issue, and immediately it stopped. She later prayed over a problem with one of his ears where the tube lodged sideways, causing infection and earache instead of helping ease his problem. As they wheeled him into surgery to fix the problem, the surgeon took one more look at the issue. To his amazement, the abnormality was healed. No surgery was needed. Where was Mama when my gallbladder came out? Mama placed her hands on the heads of both of my sons and said that God would bless them. We give her part of the credit for the rich lives both boys have experienced. Once Mama got on track, she packed more living into her final 9 years than most of us do in a lifetime. She epitomized the phrase, "It ain't where you start, but where you finish." She started a Christian coffee house to rescue lost men down on their luck. Once she arrived in town, her new church was never the same. Mama preached forgiveness and shunned regret. She saw it as a tool of the devil to hold people back. She gave him all he wanted for her last 9 years here on earth. She was loyal to her pastor and mindful of her responsibility to reach the lost and bring in the sheaves. My niece at 40 told my wife before she died that she was grateful for the cancer and would go through it again to be able to spend her last days in the arms of her earthly father as he carried her about and know how much he loved her. A good friend who lost the use of his legs in a car accident told me he wouldn't undo a thing. He operated his furniture refinishing business from his wheelchair. Finn's brother was a successful businessman. Finn said had he not been injured, he probably would have ended up like a lot of his friends. My youngest son tore his ACL in his knee, and he had to take a year off from high school sports. He turned it into an opportunity to hold Bible studies for 100 teens at our house, complete with band and a full drum set, much to the chagrin of the neighbors. When I came home that day after working in the lodge, my wife met me at the door and told me I couldn't come in. I told her I'd take my shoes off. She shook her head. She smiled and said, "There's no room in the inn." Turning lemons into lemonade isn't for the faint-hearted. Taking the old nemesis of cancer and using it for motivation as Mama did to change her life and make a lasting difference in this world is a beacon of hope for all of us. It reminds us that it's never too late to be used. Hopefully, it won't take something like a car wreck or cancer or a season-ending sports injury to help us feel a sense of urgency. That old sewing basket of Mama stands ready to remind us of lives made available for service. Are you ready to add another one to the list?
This is Dr. Juan Harrison, and this has been a selection from my series, The Mostly True Stories of Dr. Juan Harrison. Find me on Facebook and my books on Amazon.com.